Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Sarah R. Turnquist, and I'm the coordinator this year for Kentucky Christian Writers Conference. And we are just so excited that you're joining with us today.
We definitely are excited. And I'm Cindy Smith, and I am serving as the Kentucky Christian Writers Faculty Chair. And it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, not our speaker, our guest today, Larry Leech.
Welcome, Larry. Can you tell us a little about yourself, where you're hailing from, and maybe what you like to do for fun?
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me back. My wife, Wendy, and I enjoyed such a great experience last year at the conference, and we both look forward to being back this year. A little bit about myself. My wife and I reside in upstate South Carolina between Greenville and Spartanburg. We're in transplants from Central Florida. I'm a Florida boy. I was born there, lived most of my life there. Wendy was born in Georgia and lived most of her life there, but we moved here 6 years ago to be closer to our son and his family. My biggest hobby right now is Star Wars. Yes. So today talking with you two is appropriate on Revenge of the Sith Day. I got involved with a tabletop game called Star Wars X-Wing. It's played worldwide, in person and online. Our son taught us how to play in May of 2020. I lead a group of people here in the upstate. Our group is called Upstate X-Wingers. We play once a week. Yesterday, 6 of us got together and played, and I am tournament organizer for a regional event in September where we will draw people from Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina. So
Wow.
Star Wars is my thing right now. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely have to tell my husband about this game. We both love Star Wars. Yesterday, we were in our Star Wars t-shirts.
Mhm.
I did Ray hair for my daughter, and my boys were just ready to go. We are a Star Wars family for sure.
Yeah. We are too.
I might have to bring my stuff and set up a game. Wendy and I both play, so we could show everyone if you feel it's appropriate to play Star Wars at a conference. But
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, our family's into Star Wars. In fact, Christmas Day, it's always a tradition to watch one of the Star Wars movies on Christmas. After we eat a big meal, and we all just hang out and watch a Star Wars movie. So yeah.
I was afraid she was going to say the Star Wars Christmas special.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave that alone.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Though it's interesting though, I love Rogue One. That's one of my favorite. I love Rogue One. It's a sad ending, but I like that one a lot.
Don't give it away.
I won't. I didn't. No spoilers.
But although if a Star Wars fan doesn't see that coming,
yes,
I don't know what to say.
I know. Exactly.
All right. We digress.
Yes, we do. What kind of writing do you enjoy most?
I love writing fiction. I was encouraged last year in November to finish a novel that I had started a while ago. I started a novel about 15 years ago. I wrote some scenes. My Word Weavers group loved it, but I really didn't have a story. Had a publisher interested in it. Didn't go anywhere and I just put it aside. Well, in November, I was at a writer's retreat, and my friend encouraged me to do something about it. And I scrapped everything but the first sentence. And we had an agreement that every day we would text each other our word count for the day. So I told Wendy, my wife, and she asked me if I could finish by February 15th, her birthday. And I was able to finish my first draft in 2 months.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is amazing.
I love writing fiction. I've ghosted a number of books. I enjoy doing that. I've met some great clients. But right now, I am focusing on my fiction.
That's awesome.
Excellent. And so you wear many hats. You write, you've done copy editing, acquisition editor, speaker, teacher, and that is not all. Do you have one of those hats that you prefer more than the others?
That's tough.
Mhm.
I love coaching. I love helping writers. I love helping them take an idea, start writing, get it to a publishable level, have, meetings every other week with my clients. I love when the light bulb goes on or when they say, I worked on this chapter and I heard you in my ear to not write it that way. I love coaching. I love teaching. I've had some great mentors tuck me under their wings, and I love doing that for others too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that that type of spirit, like wanting to pour into others, it also encourages you. As like, I know that when I speak into other people, it encourages me as well.
Yeah.
It's like a symbiotic kind of, a good
Yeah.
symbiotic type of relationship.
Yeah.
We are excited that you're coming back again this year, and that you're going to be teaching the workshop as part of our post conference session retreat. Last year was our first year. My words today are not wanting to come very smoothly.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, last year was our first year to have a post conference retreat, a kind of like what is next. And we are excited that you're going to be doing the after the conference retreat. So what can people expect from this?
I created this workshop years ago to help particularly new writers organize their thoughts and their game plan for what to do after they leave the conference. Because as you know, whether it's a 2-day conference or a 5-day conference, we hit writers with a fire hose.
Mhm.
They leave excited because they've learned all this stuff, but they're also exhausted because they've had so much thrown at them at one time. And I've learned that a lot of them go home, that excitement flames out real quick because they don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
So this workshop is all instruction on how to organize what you feel like you need to do, put deadlines to it, and then make your deadlines.
Yeah.
Wow, I am so excited about that class in particular, because even though I've been to numerous conferences and been writing for many, many years, I still love that idea of taking what you've learned, structuring it somehow, organizing
Yeah.
it some way,
Yeah.
and setting deadlines. I love that.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
I emphasize the deadlines because we're a deadline-driven industry.
Mhm.
And for new writers, this gives them practice in making deadlines.
Yeah,
So deadlines are important because we know
absolutely.
if you miss a deadline with a publisher, you throw a monkey wrench into their process.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Even as an indie, I set up deadlines for myself. Like I'll arrange
Yeah.
for my editor on a certain date, and then I don't push it because then that throws her whole schedule off, and she's had this date on the calendar for me for, months now, and
Yeah.
so it really does help. It gives that positive pressure, I
Mhm.
think, is what helps me a lot.
It could be deadlines could be a great motivator for some too.
Mhm.
Mhm. It
Yeah,
motivated me to finish my book this year for sure.
yeah.
I had it finished at the end of the first quarter, and now I'm on a schedule with an editor and a
Mhm.
cover artist. So that's, but the first draft is done, and I feel good about it.
You
And
should. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I struggled with wanting to set a deadline. I struggled with
Yeah.
wanting to have something where I wrote down that I would have it finished by this time. But then I finally just in January decided, okay, by the end of the first quarter, it's going to be done.
Good thing.
Because, Jerry Jenkins said years ago, this has always stuck with me. If you want to be a writer, you have to make time to write. It's not when, it feels good to write or, I'll get to it after I do this and then it doesn't happen. You have to make time.
Mhm.
Jerry's words were, put your butt in a chair and write.
Mm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And
that's good
it's,
stuff.
One,
Yeah.
one other thing that I will talk about in this after the conference, and I'll bring it up now so people could think about it and maybe apply beforehand. Look at your schedule over a 2-week span. Block off your time in 15-minute increments and write down every 15 minutes what you did for the last 15 minutes. And at the end of 2 weeks, you can take a look and write everything down: sleeping time, travel time to work, eating time, family time, everything. And then after 2 weeks, take a look at your schedule and figure out, where did I waste time? And then eliminate that wasted time and make that writing time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That is really good advice.
That is
Solid,
advice.
solid advice. Yeah. So we have had the pleasure of enjoying your teaching. But for those that may be new to the conference and haven't heard you speak before, would you say that your style is more instructional, interactive, inspirational, little of some of them, all of them?
A little bit of all, but mostly interactive. When I teach, I make it a point that everyone speaks at least once in my class. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people or 40 people in class. I make sure everyone talks at least once, because I want to get people connected. When I teach a fiction workshop, I have everyone introduce themselves and what genre they're writing for. And inevitably, we have 4 or 5 people writing YA. They don't know each other. I've seen people after class get together, exchange contact info, romantic suspense. They do the same thing. So interactive, obviously instructional, because I teach. I want them to learn something. But the other thing I do with the interaction is I start using people's work in progress for examples instead of just talking theory the whole time. And inspirational, I want people to leave motivated and ready to go to work and apply what they, if they learn something.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Last year was our first year to offer this after the conference retreat. And I think it went really well. And it's kind of a bit instructional. We'll have you teach, and then we break it up into a brainstorming group and a writing sprints group. What is your opinion of it? Do you think that's a good offering to offer at a writers conference?
I do. It's a good way to wind down. After being hit with a fire hose, if someone can sit and write for half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, however long it is, they have all that information fresh in their mind and they can apply it. Brainstorming, the interaction, it's that interaction between writers that can motivate people, and you throw ideas off each other. And again, the information from the conference is still fresh. So the ideas can just start flowing like crazy. I don't know any other conference that does that. I like that idea and you give people options too.
And part of the heart of it too is that I think there are a lot of writers writing in general is very solitary. But also, I think there are writers that come to the conference that don't have other writers in their area. And so just the opportunity, I think, even to write elbow to elbow with other Christian writers is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I'm glad that we are offering that again this year. And hopefully it'll become a permanent thing. We don't know. But so as you've been on our faculty a couple of years now, what has been your experience as a faculty member and acquisition editor at KCWC?
I love the spirit of the conference. I've taught in numerous conferences since 2004, and it always starts at the top. The heart and soul of the leadership trickles down throughout the conference. And I love the spirit of Kentucky. It's friendly. It's encouraging. It's just sweet. It's like honey, just flows just all the way through the entire conference. The way people talk with each other, and it's not frenetic. It's, we have conferences in the industry that, it's very fast paced. Kentucky is all enclosed in one location, so everyone's together all day and not spread out over multiple buildings. But it's the spirit of kindness and encouragement that flows throughout the conference. And that starts with you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. KCWC was the very first writers conference that I ever gone to. And It's one of my favorites. There's a special place in my heart for that one. I'm glad you felt that too.
Yep.
Now you're coming also, which is exciting, as a one-on-one mentor and an acquisition editor. You're going to be accepting pitches for Illumify Media. I think people get confused about what an acquisition editor is exactly. So could you explain that for people?
An acquisition editor looks for projects that our publishing house would like to publish.
Okay.
It's really that simple. You know, at a conference, you can bring a one sheet or you can bring a full book proposal. I don't say this to be mean, but in most cases, we don't take printed material home with us. Okay. It started years ago when we flew to a lot of conferences and it would just add extra. And now it's easy to send things electronically. One reason that I don't take any physical copies of anything home, if I want something, I ask the person to send it to me. And I do it for a couple reasons. One, I want to see if they follow instructions. Okay, which is very important, as you know. Two, I want to see if they will actually follow through. Years ago, Les Dobie, who was a giant in our industry for many, many years, editor, agent, he had his own agency and everything. Les said that 90% of the people who have requested material don't send it. I've done it. I've had editors and agents years ago ask for material and I was too scared to send it. So I asked them to send it for those two reasons. And acquisitions, looking for people that we would like to work with, look for good writers. You don't have to be a great writer when you sit down and talk with an editor and agent, because we can, if you're not quite there, we can coach you up if need be. So I would encourage new writers, don't get all wrapped up about not being perfect or great. Okay. We're looking for people that we want to work with who have a coachable and a teachable spirit. People who can be a self-starter, because as you know, in the industry nowadays, you have to sell your own books. All right. It's not just on the shoulders of the publisher. But as a word of caution, we look for the easy no. All right. Now, I don't say that to scare anyone off. I mentioned to a couple people recently, I'm at 9 conferences this year. I probably will meet with 300 to 350 people.
Wow.
Okay. And there are agencies, agents who will meet with far more than that. So we look for an easy no. So when you sit down across from an editor or acquisition editor or an agent, be professional. All right. We understand that you may be nervous, particularly if you're new at this, because any of us who sit on this side of the table across from you, we've been in that seat before too. And we understand it can be a nervous experience, a nerve-wracking experience. Be yourself. Just come in, give us your pitch. If you hand us a one sheet or proposal, we'll look through it while you're talking. Keep talking because we're listening and we're looking for certain things. But just be yourself. We're here to help you.
Yeah.
And first impressions do make, first impressions are important. But just, I've already said it twice. Just be you. Just be you. Let us see who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the advice when I was early in my writing career that, that as important as it is to pitch, sometimes it's okay to just schedule those appointments to ask questions.
Yep.
And it's interesting. I pitched at several conferences when I was first starting, And the one time it was actually at a Kentucky Christian Writers Conference. I sat down with an agent to just ask questions, and they signed me. I wasn't pitching, but I was, asking questions about my career and about, the next move I should make and whatnot. And I got signed, and it was just very interesting to me because I was comfortable. I was relaxed. I wasn't on this whole. And so I think there is something to be said for just coming into a conversation in that session.
They saw who you are.
Mhm.
They saw who you are. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we just have one more question for you. What is your favorite thing about writers' conferences, and why should someone who's kind of on the fence sign up for KCWC or another Christian Writers Conference?
Oh, this is an easy question to answer. I love the community at a conference. I've been blessed to be on faculty for a number of years now. So faculty wise, it's like a reunion. If most conferences, we know each other. So personally have that, but just to get together with writers and talk writing and, teach classes, pour into people, but after class, talk with someone who wants to pick your brain or sit with you at a conference and strike up a conversation like you did with that agent years ago, Sarah, and just dialogue, just connect people. And like I said, some of my classes after introductions, people will gather and make their own connections with each other, like-minded people. It's a community. We have a unique community in the sense that we all want to help each other.
Absolutely.
I have been fortunate enough to teach at some general market conferences. The vibe there is very different. Sometimes it's very dog eat dog. I tell this story often. General market conference, an attendee didn't know where the faculty meeting room was. So they asked another attendee. That attendee sent them in the wrong direction and then went and took their appointment.
Oh, wow.
We don't do that. We help each other. It's community because we serve a great God, and we know that. It's not dog eat dog. I mean, the freelance editors, I'm a coach, a freelance editor. If we're booked, we'll encourage a writer, go talk to so-and-so, see if they have any available spots, or, interview 3 writing coaches at the conference and pick the one that you're most comfortable with. I mean, it's just the community.
Yeah.
And we pray for each other. I mean, you guys prayed for us before this. You're praying for my wife and I leading up to the conference. It's just the community. I love the community.
Yeah. It's a family. We're all a family in Christ.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Larry. And we are excited to see you in October, Lord willing. And the creek don't rise when you stay around here. And we hope to see the listeners and the viewers out there. We hope that this has encouraged you in some way and maybe encouraged you to sign up for a writers conference, either our conference or another Christian writers conference nearby. But I'm telling you, you do not want to miss Larry Leech at the Kentucky Christian Writers Conference.
Wow. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyed it.
Our pleasure. All right.